Princess Eugenie Beatrice urged to sever ties with Sarah and Andrew to flourish in the royal family. Crown Chronicles. Welcome back, royal watchers, to Crown Chronicles, your #1 home for gripping royal news, deep royal storytelling, and every twist unfolding inside the House of Windsor. If you are fascinated by the British royal family and never want to miss a single revelation, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, today's story is one of the most explosive we've covered in months, and you'll want to stay with me until the very end, because what we're about to uncover could reshape the future of two beloved young royals, Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice. The daughters of Prince Andrew and Sarah, Duchess of York, are now at the center of a growing storm. One that has experts, insiders, and palace watchers asking a shocking question: should the York sisters distance themselves from their own parents in order to truly flourish within the royal family? Yes, this conversation is happening. And it's gaining momentum faster than anyone expected. For years, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie have walked a delicate line, loyal daughters on one side, dedicated modern royals on the other. They are hardworking, warm, relatable, and increasingly popular with the public. Yet time and time again, their efforts have been overshadowed by the turbulence surrounding their parents. Prince Andrew's ongoing scandals, legal battles, and deep fall from royal grace have placed a heavy shadow over the entire York branch. And Sarah Ferguson, though beloved by many, has often attracted controversy of her own, from financial troubles to public mishaps. For Eugenie and Beatrice, this has created a royal tightrope that no other members of their generation have had to walk. But now, royal experts are saying the quiet part out loud: if the princesses want to rise, to step into a more prominent royal role, and to secure their place in the monarchy's future, they may have to create some distance, personal, public, or both, from their parents. This is a bold suggestion. And for many, an unthinkable one, but let's break down why this conversation is exploding right now. King Charles is reshaping the monarchy to be more streamlined and more reputation-conscious than ever before. With fewer working royals and less room for scandal, Charles wants a clean, tight, forward-looking firm. And while he is known to care deeply for Beatrice and Eugenie, his nieces, their parents remain a major obstacle to their involvement in the modern royal vision. Every time Prince Andrew appears in the headlines, the fallout touches his daughters. Every time Sarah Ferguson becomes embroiled in a public issue, the York sisters are dragged into the narrative whether they deserve it or not. And insiders say that this constant association is quietly limiting the opportunities the princesses could otherwise have. But here's what makes this moment especially dramatic: Eugenie and Beatrice themselves have been subtly stepping into larger royal roles over the past year. With Catherine recovering, with Harry and Meghan gone, and with Charles and William under immense pressure, the royal family genuinely needs more hands. And the York sisters, experienced, elegant, and already familiar with royal duties, are perfectly positioned to help, yet their last name carries baggage, and so, the debate has intensified. Some commentators argue that the sisters must rebrand themselves, demonstrating independence from the controversies that have consumed their parents. Not emotional independence, but public, symbolic independence. They argue that the monarchy's long-term survival relies on maintaining a spotless image, and that the sisters' visibility could be harmed by their unavoidable association with Andrew. Others, however, see this suggestion as deeply unfair. After all, neither Beatrice nor Eugenie has ever been involved in any scandal. Both have steady careers, strong marriages, and are widely respected. Why should they pay for the mistakes of their parents? Why should they be forced into a painful public separation simply to secure a place in the royal future? But the reality inside the palace, according to sources, is more complicated than public debate. King Charles reportedly wants the York sisters to be part of the monarchy's future, but he's aware of the risks. Particularly when it comes to Prince Andrew. The king has been firm: Andrew will not return to royal duties. Yet as long as the princesses are closely tied to him in the public eye, the shadow follows them. And then there's Sarah Ferguson, a woman who's had one of the most dramatic journeys in royal history. Loved, then shunned, then loved again, she remains a bold, unpredictable figure. Despite being warmly welcomed into certain royal events lately, she too brings media attention, but not always the kind the palace prefers. For Beatrice and Eugenie, this creates an emotional challenge. They adore their parents. They are loyal to them. But they also love the royal family, and both wish to serve it in their own ways. So what happens when these two loyalties collide? Royal insiders suggest that the palace has quietly encouraged the sisters to stand on their own, to be seen as independent figures, working women, modern royals with their own values and own identities. And in recent months, both have done exactly that. We've seen Eugenie take on more international charitable work, especially around anti-slavery efforts. Beatrice has stepped up in supporting events with senior royals and representing the crown with grace and confidence. But despite all that progress, the question still hangs in the air: will their future be defined by their parents' past? Some say a more public distancing is necessary, not a family rupture, but a gentle repositioning. A narrative shift. A clear message that the sisters are not responsible for, or connected to, their parents' scandals. That they stand on their own, ready to serve a modern monarchy without the burdens of the past. Others argue that the sheer idea is cruel, that it forces two daughters to choose between their family and their future, and so, the story continues to evolve. What happens next will depend on the princesses themselves. They are strong, intelligent, compassionate women who understand the challenges they face better than anyone. They've navigated the hardest chapters of their father's downfall with grace. They've risen above media scrutiny that would have crushed many others. And they continue to emerge as pillars of quiet strength within the younger generation of royals, whether they choose to create more public space between themselves and their parents, or whether they decide to stay visibly united as a family. One thing is certain: their future in the royal family is one of the most intriguing storylines unfolding right now. Thank you for watching Crown Chronicles. If this story kept you thinking, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Your engagement helps our royal community grow, and trust me, with the way things are shaping up in the monarchy, you won't want to miss what comes next. The royal world is shifting. And Beatrice and Eugenie may soon be standing at the center of it.